While on his way, he sees a huge spider that attacks him. The spider was extremely strong and thousands of years old. Killing this spider was very difficult because it was a poisonous spider itself, so if Tang San tried to use poison on it, it would have no effect. Now, Tang San somehow tries to save himself and attempts to bind the spider using the blue silver plant. But the spider keeps breaking through the webs and continues to advance to attack him. The spider traps people by releasing its spider web, and the poison on the web gradually kills humans. The spider starts releasing its web on Tang San in the same way. Even Tang San's hidden weapons were having no effect on it. The spider could only be killed when it was injured. After a long fight, the spider finally stings Tang San, and he falls unconscious. A little while later, he opens his eyes and finds himself awakened in his past life. He was now back in Tang's sect, where the old elders were present. Tang San stands there and has completely forgotten all the memories of his current life. He doesn't remember who Ziwu is, what Shrek School is, or where he used to live. There, he talks to the others and begins to blend in with them. But then, a man says some words that Ziwu used to say. This triggers visions in Tang San, and gradually, he starts remembering everything, that he does not belong here, that he had died, and that in his next life, he was in another world. He realizes he doesn't belong here, so he attempts to commit suicide again. The elders try to stop him and tell him that he can stay if he wants to. But Tang San needed to return to save Ziwu, so he commits suicide again. This time, he opens his eyes back at the same place where he was fighting the spider. In reality, he had fallen unconscious due to the spider's poison and had seen this dream. Now, regaining consciousness, he frees himself from the spider's web and, remembering Ziwu, strikes the spider with his hammer. This weakens the spider significantly, giving Tang San a chance to use his hidden weapons. He attacks it directly with his hidden weapon and kills it. After this, his power gets drained again, so he sits down to meditate. Just then, the grandmother and her granddaughter arrive. This time, the grandfather is also with them. The grandparents were looking for this spider for their granddaughter. But for the second time, Tang San has taken away the granddaughter's prey. This makes both grandparents very angry. However, the spider was so strong that the grandparents would have had to use their full strength to defeat it, whereas Tang San defeated it alone. This shocks the grandfather, but he couldn't just let go of someone who robbed their granddaughter. So, he uses his mind and gives Tang San two choices. First, they will let Tang San live, but he must join their family. Second, if he refuses the first choice, he will be killed for stealing the granddaughter's soul beast. Tang San agrees to the first choice, but with a condition. He says, "I'm ready to join your family, but you must come with me and help me save Ziwu from the giant ape." Upon hearing the name Giant Ape, both grandparents refused because the giant ape was extremely powerful. Even the greatest grandmaster of Soul Land couldn't defeat it. So they reject his condition. Tang San also says, "If you won't accept my condition, then I won't join your family." This angers the grandfather, and he moves forward to fight Tang San. But just then, Mr. Zhao and the other kids arrive and stop the grandparents. They try to reason with him and explain that Tang San killed the spider to save his own life. When the grandparents still don't listen, Mr. Zhao takes the grandfather aside and tells him that Tang San is the disciple of the grandmaster. Upon hearing the grandmaster's name, the grandfather calms down because he respects the grandmaster. Without saying anything more, he turns around and leaves. But the granddaughter cannot bear this. She wants revenge on Tang San. So she challenges him and says, "This time I'll defeat you. And if you still win, then you can claim the spirit ring of the soul beast." Tang San accepts her challenge. Just then, Oscar arrives and says that one more condition must be added to this bet. He adds that if Tang San wins, the granddaughter must kiss him. The granddaughter gets angry, but the grandparents are delighted because they wanted their granddaughter to be with a strong man like Tang San. A competition is held between them where both must throw blades at a tree standing 20 meters away. Each is given 16 blades. They must catch a leaf in each blade mid-air and strike the tree. The competition begins. The granddaughter throws her blades and manages to trap a leaf in each one. All her blades hit the tree, and she is very happy. Looking at Tang San, she says with attitude, "Are you scared? You haven't even thrown your blades yet." At that moment, her grandfather tells her, "When you were throwing your blades, Tang San had already thrown his. He was so fast that you didn't even see him, and each of his blades trapped 10 leaves." Hearing this, the granddaughter becomes very sad, realizing she has lost the competition. Tang San approaches her and comforts her, saying, "You shouldn't be disappointed because I've been practicing this weapon for 9 years. It's called the hidden secret weapon." He tells her more about it and says that if she wants to learn it, he can teach her. Impressed by Tang San's polite nature, the granddaughter becomes fond of him. Tang San gives her his secret weapons, making her very happy. She quickly kisses him and shyly runs away. Tang San then absorbs the spirit ring of the spider. The name of the spider is Human-Faced Demon Spider. Meanwhile, at the city school, we see the grandmaster thinking about Tang San and missing him. The next day, Tang San's father, Tang Hao, arrives at the spot where Tang San fought the spider. There, he sees many blue silver plants and feels very proud of his son's abilities. From there, he goes to a place filled with destruction. Some blue silver plants are there too, and he reminisces about the past. Now we learn about Tang Hao's backstory. He stood at this place with his beautiful wife and infant baby while trying to escape from someone. Tang Hao used his hammer to protect his wife and child. He was incredibly powerful and wanted to save his wife at all costs. His wife's name was Yin, and she was being hunted by a powerful Soul Land Master. Tang Hao fights the Soul Land Master and injures him, asking his wife to flee. But the Soul Land Master attacks again with full strength. Tang Hao dodges again and continues to flee. But soon, more Soul Land Masters arrive, including a man who commanded them, the most powerful person on the entire continent. He tells them that loving each other was against divine rules. Tang Hao ignores him, saying, "Who are you to lecture us about the laws of the gods?" That man wants to separate him from Yin, but Tang Hao loves her deeply and moves forward to fight. Just then, Yin arrives because she knew Tang Hao couldn't defeat 4 Soul Land Masters alone. She is ready to sacrifice herself. Handing the infant baby to Tang Hao, she dies. With her death, a lot of blue silvergrass sprouts, as her soul spirit was blue silvergrass. This infant is none other than Tang San, and Yin had made Tang Hao promise that he would raise him well. Now, Tang Hao watches over his son and misses Yin dearly. He talks to the blue silvergrass, imagining it as Yin. Meanwhile, Tang San is trying to absorb the 3rd spirit ring and remembers Ziwu. He is facing a lot of difficulty in absorbing the spirit ring, as the spider was extremely powerful and he cannot tolerate it. If he stops midway, his life could be in danger. Just then, Ziwu comes running and everyone is overjoyed to see her alive. She tells them that the giant ape got nervous after hearing the roar of a bull and let her go. She also tells them that she reached level 30 and saw a beast at night. She defeated it and obtained a spirit ring. Everyone is happy to hear this. But their tension doesn't fade, as Tang San is absorbing a very powerful spirit ring, and now they are just waiting for him to wake up. On the other side, the Grandmaster goes to meet the Dean of Shrek School. They talk about Tang San, and the Grandmaster hears everything that happened. He realizes that it was Tang Hao who beat up Mr. Tin, and he shows the Dean Tang Hao's badge. We then see Tang San, who is still absorbing the spirit ring, and finally, he succeeds. Everyone is very happy. But then, Tang San starts to mutate. A spider-like leg emerges from his waist. Mr. Zhao understands that during absorption, the spider and Tang San mutated, and now the situation is about to worsen. Hearing this, all the children become scared and ask for a solution. Mr. Zhao says there is only one solution. They have to wait. Tang San becomes unconscious again and first dreams of Ziwu leaving him. Then he reaches his past life again, where we learn why he had stolen secret knowledge from the secret library in his previous life. Tang San loved reading and gaining different knowledge. He wanted to study various techniques and weapons and even made many of his own. But no one there valued his talent. The children around him wouldn't even look at his weapons. They would criticize him in front of him and break his weapons. This made Tang San very frustrated. He now wanted to gain higher and secret knowledge. He asked the elders to let him study the secret weapons in the secret library. The elders got very angry, saying no one had the right to learn about those weapons and that knowledge. They scolded him and expelled him from the clan. Now Tang San had to somehow gain the secret knowledge from the books inside the library. That's why he decides to sneak into it that very night. He wanted to go inside and read the secret scriptures. The library had 2 levels of security. The first level had guards patrolling, and the second level was guarded by lasers and 3 elders. Now Tang San had to break through both security levels to get inside. Though he could have used his hidden weapons to kill the guards outside, he deeply loved the Tang sect and owed it much. So, he sneaks in and manages to bypass the first level of security. Then he sees the secret scriptures, around which many lasers are present, and 3 elders are guarding them. Somehow, Tang San creates a distraction outside, which causes the elders to rush toward the noise, and Tang San quickly navigates through the lasers to get the secret scriptures. As soon as he opens the scriptures, the emperor of the Tang sect arrives and tells him that the world only knows about the 2 levels of security, but no one knows there's a 3rd level and he personally guards it. The emperor says, for this crime, you will be banished from the Tang sect. Tang San becomes sad and replies, I came here as a child and was raised here. I will only leave when death comes to take me, and it seems that time has come now. Saying this, he attempts suicide using his hidden weapon. But the emperor stops him and begins telling him the truth about the Tang sect. Over time, the Tang sect had become a major power and gained widespread fame. But outside the sect, discrimination between rich and poor had increased. Outsiders who wanted to learn the secret techniques were not allowed, and the royal-born insiders lacked the ability to truly master them. As a result, many techniques were lost. The emperor says, so you, being an outsider, coming here to take this knowledge is not wrong, but it's against our rules. That's why the elders must be after you. I forgive you, but now you must escape from them. He gives Tang San the secret scripture and tells him to learn from it. Meanwhile, Tang San starts regaining consciousness and is very happy to see Ziwu Zhushixing safe in front of him. But suddenly, spider legs start emerging from Tang San's waist, shocking everyone. Mr. Zhao tells him to control it. Tang San begins meditating and, after great effort, becomes capable of controlling the spider legs. As they are talking, suddenly many small spiders arrive. These were the children of the giant spider Tang San had just killed. Though they were just babies, Tang San and the others decide to fight them. Tang San gives everyone his hidden weapons. Everyone is shocked to see these weapons, as they had never seen anything like them before. Using these weapons, they kill all the spiders. Rong really likes the hidden weapons and wants to buy one from Tang San. But Tang San says, I will give it to you for free after some time. Then he tells everyone he will gift them a hidden weapon each, and they start heading back to school. They return using Oscar's flying sausage. Mr. Zhao tells the dean everything that happened. Then the Grandmaster also arrives. They begin talking about the giant ape, and Mr. Zhao asks the Grandmaster about the beast whose sound had made the giant release Ziwu. The Grandmaster explains that it was the azure bull python, which is even more powerful than the giant ape. If the ape is the king of the jungle, then the bull python is the emperor. He also narrates a story. Once a very powerful soul master went into the forest to hunt the giant. Confident in his abilities, he challenged the giant while it was drinking water at a lake. But then a terrifying voice came from the lake. It was the bull python, who could even speak human language. The python told the warrior to leave, and without hesitation, the warrior fled, realizing its power. Then they talk about Oscar, acknowledging that he is very talented. In fact, everyone at Shrek School is highly talented, which is why the Grandmaster decides to personally train them all. He calls all the kids to the ground and introduces himself as their new teacher. While they are still talking, Tang San's spider legs suddenly become uncontrollable, striking randomly. During this chaos, one sting hits Fatty, Ma Hongjun, and he falls unconscious. The Grandmaster immediately goes to Tang San and tells him to take deep breaths. He instructs him to imagine that these legs are his own bones and to absorb them back into his body. Tang San follows his instructions and successfully regains control. He quickly takes Fatty to Oscar's room. The Grandmaster and Tang San go there, and the Grandmaster tells Tang San to extract the poison. Tang San is very scared because Fatty's life is at risk. But if he doesn't extract the poison, Fatty will die anyway. So he obeys and manages to extract the poison, saving him. Tang San comes outside and tells everyone that he may not be able to control his spirit ring yet. Then he and Ziwu discuss the spirit rings. Next, Tang San meets the Grandmaster, who scolds him for carelessly killing a 1,000-year-old spider and absorbing its spirit ring. Tang San apologizes and promises not to act recklessly again. The Grandmaster asks him to demonstrate the power of his new spirit ring. Tang San shows his blue-silver plant, whose ring has now grown and become stronger. His poison power has also become more lethal. Now Tang San has become so powerful that even a poison master's attacks would not affect him. Tang San now wants to create hidden weapons for his friends too, using his memories from the past life and the secrets from the scripture. That's why he decides to open a weapons business in the city, which would earn him money to fund his creations. He visits the biggest blacksmith shop in the city, where many expert craftsmen are making weapons. Tang San goes to the owner and tells him he has a business opportunity, but they need to talk privately. As they walk toward a room, he sees Iron Dragon and Iron Tiger, the owner's sons, the best craftsmen around. Inside the room, Tang San proposes, I will give you 100 soul coins. In return, I need a workspace where I can use your tools to make great weapons. We will share the profit from the sales. The owner likes the idea but doubts whether a child can actually make weapons. He asks about Tang San's skills. When he learns that Tang San has reached rank 30, he is shocked. The sons enter and happily tell their father that Tang San saved them once from his partner, who was about to kill them, but he spared them. They confirm that Tang San is very powerful. Hearing this, the owner becomes very pleased and agrees to the business proposal. Tang San then returns to school and sees Ziwu. They both promise to stay together forever and grow closer to each other. Just then, Ning Rongrong calls out, and they get embarrassed and head back to the school. They all celebrate Tang San reaching rank 30, enjoying a party together. The next morning, the Grandmaster personally prepares breakfast for everyone. Then they all gather in a line on the training ground. The Grandmaster announces the beginning of intense training. He calls Mr. Dai and tells him to fight each member one by one. He also instructs that no one should get hurt. When it's Tang San's turn, the Grandmaster says he won't use his third spirit ring. Mr. Dai responds, Tang San can use his third ring if he wants. I'll defeat him even with that. But the Grandmaster refuses and warns, if Tang San uses his spider powers, you might not survive. Everyone laughs, but Mr. Dai insists. The Grandmaster then allows Tang San to use his third ring. The battle begins, and Tang San traps Mr. Dai in a spider web. Struggling to escape, poison spreads in Mr. Dai's body. The match is stopped, and Tang San removes the poison. The Grandmaster then emphasizes the importance of teamwork, motivating them to always fight from the same side. Next, Fatty fights Oscar and wins. Then Mr. Dai fights Fatty, and it turns into an iconic level match. At first, Mr. Dai seems weaker, but then he goes full power, and both fight fiercely. Seeing their battle, the Grandmaster asks Ziwu to show her third spirit ring. Tang San and Ziwu fight. Tang San tries to trap her in the spider web, but she's too fast and strong. She grabs him tightly, and when he again uses the web, they both get trapped. A romantic moment develops between them. Since there's no clear winner between Mr. Dai and Fatty, the match is stopped. The Grandmaster points out flaws in everyone's fighting techniques and gives them advice to improve. Finally, it's Ziwu's turn, but the Grandmaster finds no flaws in her. Everyone is shocked. He then reveals that her third spirit ring gives her the power of a lightning speed rabbit that's thousands of years old. She can even teleport midair using this technique. Because everyone made some mistake, they're all given punishment to run laps carrying bags full of stones. Even those who didn't make mistakes join in, as they can't bear to watch their friends suffer alone. Everyone starts doing it, and because the bags were too heavy, they begin getting tired midway. Mr. Dai and Tang San were the strongest among them, so they take out some stones from the bags of the weaker ones, Oscar and Ning Rongrong, and put them into their own bags. But even then, after walking some distance, they start feeling exhausted. The Grandmaster had also arranged for water supplies at intervals to restore their energy, but still, they were weakening. They also couldn't use Oscar's flying sausage because the Grandmaster had forbidden them from using soul power. Now, as they keep walking, they get extremely tired. But they couldn't quit the punishment given by the Grandmaster. A long time passes while they walk. Just then, the kids from the other school show up. They had made a plan. Since the Shrek kids are tired, now's the best time to beat them up. They grab Fatty, Ma Hongjun, put their foot on him, and then challenge Tang San to a fight. Even though Tang San was exhausted, he was still strong enough to defeat them all alone, and then everyone enjoys a good laugh about it. After that, they continue the punishment. Tang San was carrying the most rocks, so his speed became slow, and when everyone else had finished their rounds, he still had 2 left. Tang San remembers that in his past life he was alone, with no friends, but in this life, he has so many. Thinking about this makes him really happy, and he understands that the Grandmaster gave them this punishment to teach them the power of friendship. He begins to complete his remaining 2 rounds, but collapses due to fatigue. The others also faint from exhaustion. When they wake up, they find themselves in their rooms, in a hot bath filled with medicinal herbs. The Grandmaster had arranged all of it. Then he calls them for dinner and feeds them very nutritious food. Everyone feels happy after eating, as they had trained intensely that day. After dinner, they all go to sleep. The next morning, all the students are called back to the training ground. The Grandmaster tells Tang San to complete his 2 remaining rounds. But this time, all the other kids run with him, and that's how they continue the day's training. Meanwhile, Tang San had started his secret hidden weapons business, which began making good profit. Over the next 3 months, he creates many different types of hidden weapons and decides to give some to his friends. Then one day, while Oscar and Tang San are sitting in a room, Fatty, Ma Hongjun, shows up, badly beaten. He explains that he liked the girl and was trying to impress her. While following her, a thug appeared and tried to attack the girl. Fatty helped her escape, but during the fight, the thug beat him badly. That thug had 4 spirit rings and was a notorious criminal who used to kidnap girls and assault them. Everyone was troubled by him. His name was Buell. Now Tang San and the others decide to go after Buell, since he had harmed their friend. While looking for him, they also see Zhu Zhuqing, the cat girl, who joins them in the search. They don't find Buell right away, so they make a trap plan. Zhu Zhuqing walks alone in the dark alleys, acting innocent. Seeing her beauty, Buell shows up. She pretends to ask for candy, and Buell lures her into a dark alley, attempting to assault her. Just then, Zhu Zhuqing attacks him using her spirit ring abilities. Her special ability was speed, and she beats Buell so fast he doesn't even get a chance to defend. His bones crack and break. He becomes so injured that he won't recover for 3 months. The Shrek students laugh and celebrate because they had just taken down a big thug, but Tang San still feels something is missing. So, he hangs Buell on top of the tallest building in town with a board around his neck saying, "I am a big criminal. I have done terrible things to many girls." Seeing him hanging there, 2 of his friends arrive, use their soul power to bring him down, and ask who did this to him. His body was shattered and barely moving. Buell tells them everything, and now they plan revenge on the Shrek students. Meanwhile, inside the school, the Grandmaster and the Dean are talking. The Dean complains that the school's budget is getting tight because the Grandmaster is feeding them too much and using expensive ingredients for training. But the Grandmaster tells him not to worry. He already has a plan that will take care of their finances. The Grandmaster gathers all the kids and explains the Soul Arena again. He tells them to enter competitions there. It will improve their skills and earn them money. He lays out the rules. No one except Tang San will use hidden weapons. Everyone must earn a silver badge to graduate. Oscar asks, "Since Ning Rongrong and I belong to the assistance branch, do we also fight?" The Grandmaster says no, and then tells them all to hide their identities. He gives them masks and code names based on their abilities so they can blend in during the fights. The competition starts. In the first match, Tang San and Zhu Zhuqing team up to fight a team called Cat and Mouse, a very strong duo. Tang San uses his 3rd spirit ring and traps them in a spider web, but Mouse bites through it. Still, using their techniques and coordination, Tang San and Zhu Zhuqing manage to win. It's an iconic level fight. Next, Mr. Dai and Oscar fight and win easily. Then the cat girl, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ning Rongrong win their match too. Out of 5 2v2 fights, Shrek wins 3, a great score. The Dean is thrilled. But now the Grandmaster tells them the real challenge is coming. They will face a much stronger opponent in a full 7v7 battle. Tang San is chosen as the team leader. He gives the strategy, and everyone listens carefully because this match is very important. The host announces both teams inside the ring and introduces them to the audience. Shrek's team name, Shrek 7 Devils. Opponent, Frenzy Battle Team, who have won 7 matches in a row. After introductions, both teams return to their hotel rooms. The Frenzy Battle Team members come to the Shrek team's room and start misbehaving with Zhu Zhuqing and threaten the Shrek team. Mr. Dai gets angry, fights one of them, but is pushed back in one move. The opponent was very strong. Zhu Zhuqing gets furious and tries to fight, but Tang San stops her. Then the Frenzy Battle Team's teacher shows up, ends the fight, and warns them. If you're so eager to fight, do it in the ring tomorrow. Anyway, everyone who's fought us till now is either dead or hospitalized. He tries to intimidate them and leaves. After he's gone, Oscar jokes that they're just trying to mess with their morale, and for the first time, he actually makes sense. Everyone laughs. They now understand that the enemy was just using mind games. Mr. Dai tells everyone to stay calm, and that Oscar and Ning Rongrong will stay in the back to assist. Their protection is top priority. On the way to the arena, Mr. Dai and Tang San discuss the plan to defeat them. They enter the ring, unleash their soul powers, and give their introductions. The scene looks iconic and cinematic. Now, the big battle begins. Now, both sides attack each other in their own ways, but the Frenzy Battle Team focuses more on Ning Rongrong and Oscar. They want to injure Oscar and Ning Rongrong first because they were supporting from the back by providing power. The Frenzy Battle Team tries to hurt Oscar, but Tang San stops them using the blue-silver plant. Then, a major fight breaks out between everyone. Suddenly, Tang San remembers what the Grandmaster had explained to them the day before, that they should target the Assistance Branch members in the Frenzy Battle Team. This is because the warrior from the Assisted Branch is of Millennium rank, which means he can greatly boost his team's strength from the back. Now, Tang San and the others head toward the Assisted Branch member. But they delay in doing so, and during that time, the Assisted Branch warrior uses his soul power to enhance everyone's strength and power, making them all extremely powerful. Now, they are capable of defeating Shrek School. So, Tang San uses Oscar's flying sausage to fly up into the air. The Shrek School starts flying up to avoid attacks from the Frenzy Battle Team, but they are still being attacked with stones and webs. Actually, in the sky, Tang San is waiting for the Assisted Branch members' soul power to deplete, because only after that will Tang San and the others be able to defeat them. But his soul power is going to last for a long time, and in the meantime, the Frenzy School students injure all the Flying Shrek students. Now, only Tang San is left. The Flying Sausage's power also runs out, and now everyone comes back down. Tang San, who is now alone, has to fight the Frenzy Battle Team by himself. But the good news is that the Assisted Branch warrior's soul power is now drained. Even then, the Frenzy Battle Team is fully confident because now they only have to defeat Tang San. There are 6 of them, and only one Tang San. But they don't know how powerful Tang San really is. So, when a Spider Girl tries to trap him with a web, Tang San doesn't get caught. Instead, the Spider Girl gets caught in her own web because her third spirit ring is also a spider. Everyone starts cheering for Tang San, but he quiets them down because he still has more to do. Tang San uses his silver plant to capture the remaining 6 warrior kids and injures all of them at once, winning the battle. Now, the audience cheers even louder than before for Tang San, and thus Shrek School wins. Everyone becomes very happy. They all return to their room, where the Grandmaster praises them, and everyone is overjoyed. The Grandmaster then tells them to rest today because from tomorrow, they'll have to fight 2 battles per day. The 3 teachers then go outside and joke around among themselves. The next day, they again fight similar battles, and after many such battles, Shrek School keeps winning. Tang San's team becomes famous all over the city, and even small kids in the city start wearing Shrek's 7 Devils masks. The Shrek 7 Devils had won 27 consecutive matches without losing. That's why their name had become so renowned. Then, one day, the Grandmaster goes to register for the next day's fight, and while registering, the head of the Soul Arena comes to meet him and puts forward a request. He tells the Grandmaster that silver rank warriors from another city's Soul Arena are coming to fight, and their Soul Arena doesn't have any silver batch team capable of defeating them. In fact, no team here can even last 5 minutes against them. So he wants Shrek's 7 Devils to fight against them. At first, the Grandmaster refuses, because having Shrek's 7 Devils fight silver batch warriors seems like too much. But the owner of the Soul Arena convinces him, saying that anyone can see from their fighting skills that they are capable of silver batch level, and they're about to get their silver batch anyway. And if they fight this match, they'll be awarded 10,000 gold coins from the Soul Arena. Hearing this, the Grandmaster agrees, and after taking the details of the opponent team, he leaves. Then he returns to the room and tells everyone about it. He says that from the 10,000 gold coins, everyone will keep 1,000 each, and the remaining 3,000 will be used for the school's development. Everyone agrees with this. Then they start discussing the opponent team members. A long discussion takes place, where they discuss each opponent one by one. What exactly they discussed will be explained during the match, because if we explain it now, it might seem too complex and go over your head. So after all the planning, Tang San motivates his team members and says that since we've won 27 matches in a row, we'll win this one too and bring glory to our school. Everyone gets very motivated and cheers together. The team they are going to fight is called the Emperor Battle Team. It's a very powerful team. Now we see this team, where their leader comes in and tells his team everything about the Shrek 7 Devils. After reading the details, they realize that tomorrow's match is not going to be easy. The next day, the match begins, and this time the Seoul Arena is decided to be even bigger. 20,000 spectators have come to watch today's match because it's going to be on a very grand level. One by one, everyone makes heroic entries into the ring and starts advancing towards each other. Now, Dean sees the opposing team's leader and finds him familiar. When the Grandmaster asks him about it, Dean says he'll tell him after the match. Inside the ring, everyone releases their spirit souls, and the scene looks amazing. Then we see the leader of the opposing team, who has the blue lightning tyrant dragon soul ring, a very strong power. Among the top 20 soul types, one is the lightning tyrant dragon. Alongside the leader is a warrior girl who has poisonous powers, and there's a boy on their team whose spirit soul is a panther. Likewise, each member of their team has dangerous spirit souls. First, they begin with hand-to-hand combat. But Tang San knows very well that in hand-to-hand combat, Shrek School will lose because the opponent is too powerful. So he starts executing the plan they made the previous day, to attack the assistant branch warrior so the rest of the team weakens a bit. The ones doing hand-to-hand combat begin to lose, and Tang San saves his team using his blue-silver plant. Now the opponent leader's attention shifts to Tang San and he attacks him. But for now, the situation is under Tang San's control, so he dodges it. Tang San had also planned to attract the leader's attention because the leader comes from a big family and is full of arrogance. Tang San plans to engage him in a one-on-one combat. When the leader begins to lose, he will act out of arrogance and make a mistake, and the Shrek 7 Devils will take advantage of that and win. According to plan, that's what happens. The leader, out of arrogance, unleashes his energy called Fury of Thunderbolt, and Tang San decides to use his blue-silver plant to neutralize it. But the released energy is so powerful that Tang San fails to fully neutralize it. However, he still manages to block most of the attack, preventing heavy damage to the Shrek 7 Devils. Then the cat girl and others get angry and attack the other warriors, excluding the leader. Now Shrek School starts to win. Zhu Zhuqing, Zhu Wu, attacks the leader. Since the leader was already a bit injured, and Zhu Zhuqing has high speed and her third spirit ring now, she lifts him into the air and beats him up, injuring him further. Seeing her leader injured, the serpent girl becomes furious because she liked the leader. She immediately releases the deadliest poison of her clan, not caring that it could even kill. She's now overtaken by rage. Tang San quickly pulls his team members back using blue-silver plant and uses a trick. The serpent girl had attacked him with poison, something Tang San had been dealing with since childhood using hidden weapons. In his previous life, he had studied poison deeply. So now he comes up with an idea to nullify the poison. He takes out alcohol from his belt and asks Fatty, Ma Hong-jun, to light it on fire. The alcohol, mixed with antidote, spreads through the air, nullifying the poison. All the kids from Shrek School become very happy. They begin fighting again, and now Shrek's 7 Devils appear to be winning. But then the warrior with the Black Panther soul ring steps forward, and the rest of the opponents also start using their soul power. Together, they all attack Zhu Zhuqing and Tang San. Tang San gets busy fighting them, but Zhu Zhuqing gets trapped in the air. She tries to teleport and escape, but keeps getting more trapped. She gets injured in the process and starts falling. Tang San catches her midair and becomes very upset upon seeing her unconscious. And with that, this episode ends here. Like, comment, and subscribe for the next part.